Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Video Game Fanatic, and today guys, as the title of this video is called The History of the Stuffed Dog Above My Head, or above me, that is this dog that is usually sitting right here. As you guys can see, it is a black Rottweiler. The history of this dog and why I named it Kira happened years ago when I was 3. My cousin was over. My brother Pinky Slinky was with my mom and dad, and they for a while my grandma, my dad's mother was watching me and my cousin. We were just playing and hanging out when my mom and my dad walked up through the door. They looked at me and said, it was like way before my birthday, so I don't know, it was like around Christmas. They said, "Do you want your Christmas present early?" I said, well, I was 3, so I went, and in walked this cute little Rottweiler. We were, and my parents, like, it was a baby, it was a pup, like, almost, like 2 months maybe, and my parents asked what we should name her, because it was a girl. We were talking and talking, and my dad said, I don't know who actually came up with Kira, I think I did. And, well, after that night, we named her Kita. 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 I had Kita for years. She was my best friend, helped me when things were going wrong. If I ever got mad, she'd always listen. You know, like man's best friend type thing. And she was like a daughter. She had 3 pups. I think they're all alive, or some of them might have died, because she had one pup that went up to my grandma's, who was a neighbor of ours, and he died 2 weeks ago, or 3 or 4, about a month ago actually, in December, late early December. But and his name was Brownie. My grandfather named him since it was his birthday present from me, and Kita. One time when Kita had her second batch of pups, well, technically third, she had 4. I didn't know about the first. I guess my dad and brother got rid of them. But her second pups, it was raining like really hard, and I was walking outside. I went over by Kita, fed her, was walking back, and I started hearing crying. Walked towards the riverbank where I thought I heard it, and there this little baby pup, was all wet, was walking. I picked him up, and his eyes are still shut. I picked him up, put him in my jacket to warm him up, and I petted him. I brought him over to Kita to see, like, why, and I went over by Kita just in curiosity. I had a flashlight, because it was raining and it was pretty much dark. I shined in there, and there were 7 pups sleeping right by my dog. So I put him in there. His name was Cody, and you know, he went missing when I was 8. But anyway, Kita and I had lots of good times. She used to live behind our shed, which is outside, and then she lived farther behind the shed in this tin one. And in 2000, either 14 or 15, actually, no, 13 or 14, I think it was 2 years ago, I was at my grandmother's for a New Year's party, and the next day my parents actually went out of town with my brother. So it was me, my baby brother, my cousins on my mom's side, her mother, and my sister and her son were having a New Year's party. Didn't think one thing of it, had a great time, except for the next day. My parents picked us up. They looked at me and said that she died. I cried maybe 3 a week. Even during school, I cried. And that was 2 years ago. I seriously stopped talking to people. I was down. Because, you only get one best friend per life, and she was my first dog I had until she was 10, almost 11. She would be turning 12 this year. She is still here, though. Actually, when I used to fall asleep, I actually used to saw her. Sorry, guys. Actually, I used to torture myself too. Like, not cut myself or anything, but I actually used to look up Rottweilers during a class and felt like crap. Everybody kept telling me it wasn't my fault. This is before I knew, like, all the friends I have this year. Because this was actually in 7th grade, so 3 years ago, 4. I always will think probably that it is my fault, because I had the opportunity since I was 13 to either stay home or go with my grandma. And I didn't think twice when I said go with my grandma. I should have. Kita died from a heart attack. And every time somebody mentions, like on the news or something, of a heart attack, or I see that in a movie, I'm telling myself that it must be it must be like a really hard thing to deal with. So that is the history of Kita. She actually used to look like this too. I do miss her. You guys have seen our new pup, Peanut. I love him. I pretty much sleep on the floor sometimes just to snuggle with him. But I can't ever. There's always that huge gaping hole where Kita used to be alive, but she's still there in spirit form. Actually, when a week after she died, I actually used to see her. I'm not crazy, but I don't know. Maybe that's the thing when you're only 13 and you're going through emotions and your dog dies, you start thinking you're seeing things. I'm not crazy, but um, of course the hallucinations um stopped. Um, but you know, my brother actually, not my brother, Pinky Slinky. I have a younger baby brother. You guys saw him in the last episode. He helped me through those tough times, but um, yeah, that's the history of Kira here. I actually got it for a Christmas present from my cousin, and I almost cried when he gave it to me. Um, but anyway, guys, it's getting late. Um, I bet a lot of you guys, I'm guessing some of you guys might have school in the morning, or either that or work. But anyway, guys, if you liked this video and enjoyed learning the history of Kita here, well, actually, the paw print here is different because she used to have a black paw print. But anyway, guys, if you liked this video and enjoyed hearing the history of Kita, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more. Love your animals as much as you can and don't abuse them. Guess you only get them once. But anyway, guys, I'll see how you do it in the next Fanatic video.